Perfect. Good morning. Thank you guys. I see that most of you I saw yesterday, so I really appreciate the double booking this week. For the next 6 weeks, it's going to be like that, so hopefully that works for you guys. Or I guess 5 weeks now. For anyone that was there yesterday, was there any key takeaway that you learned yesterday? Maybe something new or something you're looking to implement since learning yesterday? Or is everyone going to have to watch it a second time because it was way too much information?
Well, I'm going to have to watch it about 4 times.
That's okay. And for those of you who weren't there yesterday, I am putting together like a PDF version, a slide deck of what we talked about with some pictures and stuff. So it's a little bit easier to follow. So that'll be coming out this week, and subsequent weeks will also have those. What happened yesterday was it was a lot of I mirrored my phone to the Zoom and kind of did like a live demonstration of what I was talking about. But from here on, it's going to be a lot of more so information and how-tos and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about that. I also wanted to talk about content in itself. I know a lot of the time we talk about social media. Obviously, Jake is here, which is good. Elizabeth is here. Herb does a lot of social media as well. And I was wondering if anyone has experienced, other than like purposeful lead generation, have you experienced people reaching out to you via DM through your socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, for any reason? Elizabeth, you're nodding. Do you want to share?
Yeah, I'm like blown away that two whole people. So one was somebody I didn't know. And I mentioned this, I think, back when we were talking about making our YouTube channels. But basically, a random couple found my YouTube channel and liked what they saw, I guess, and reached out to me through my Realtor.ca profile instead of through YouTube. But they found me purely from that. And I have like 30 whole subscribers. So it's not like I'm this big, big channel. And then a friend of a friend's younger sister reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, "Oh my gosh, like I had no idea that you were an agent, but I just saw your LinkedIn post and blah, blah, blah." So that was two whole clients for little old me.
Which is amazing. Um, so the one on LinkedIn and the one on YouTube, do you remember what posts, if specifically a post they saw and was like, oh, I want to work with this person?
For YouTube, yes, it was. I made like kind of a long video about the buying process from start to finish. And that was the only one that had like any sort of views. And he specifically mentioned that one. So for that, it was that. LinkedIn, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Definitely
So
my,
which,
I think, being seen.
yeah, I would say on the topic of, the longer videos and everything like that, the reason I asked this question is because I got one yesterday from somebody and it kind of blew me away, the question she asked me. And I'll read it to you. And it doesn't really have to do with real estate, but it's got more so to do with when you're making content, how trustworthy you can present yourself. Because a lot of the times that's how people will open up to you about real estate, is they feel already connected to you. So I'll read this DM. Hi, I have a feeling this is your professional account, but I wanted to reach out because I really like your vibe. I just moved to Toronto and it's been super hard to make friends. I was wondering if you had any advice or fun places you could recommend. No one tells you how hard it is to make friends when you're older. I was so touched that I got that. I was like, oh my God, like that makes me feel like the content I'm making is like personable enough that it's more than just real estate. Like I post a lot of Toronto Blue Jay stuff, especially recently. Which is, it shows that I'm in Toronto, I'm active, I love the city. And from that, someone noticed and was like, you know what, maybe this is someone that could advise me on what to do. So we had a quick chat, literally nothing about real estate, just about the city and kind of her vibe and stuff like that. And but you never know who's watching and you never know what can come from it. So when we talk about content and I do say, you know, make it more than just real estate, that's why.
That's huge,
So.
Michelle. Really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it helped that some really silly 11-second video I posted about the Toronto Blue Jays has garnered a lot of attention. Um,
We don't know what's gonna hit. It's so funny.
well, and one of the things I'm going to talk about next week during the social media power hours is when you're making video content, it's great to obviously have the listing videos and stuff like that, and Elizabeth with the long form videos. But you got to mix it up. And one of the best things to think about is this brand new information to somebody? Those are the videos I've seen that like kind of hit the most is, are they learning something new? Whether it's, you know, the video I posted, it was about the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays have a pitcher with the last name Bieber, like Justin Bieber. And when he strikes someone out, they play Sorry by Justin Bieber, which I think is hilarious. But majority of the comments on the video are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. And that's where the engagement is coming from. So when you're thinking about content creation, you're thinking about, is this information something that people would like? Is this new information? Am I just kind of regurgitating stuff that they already know that's not really going to grab their attention? And how can I connect with people based off of this? I'll be very honest with you. I didn't think I was going to connect with anybody through this video. So my other piece of advice is just post whatever you want, being professional, but post whatever you want. Like if you enjoy going to the bakery, if you enjoy fishing, if you enjoy skateboarding, those should all be things that you're posting about, because there's opportunity out there to build relationships and connecting with people and stuff other than, you know, work, and those are key pieces to building relationships. So that was a story I wanted to share. Let's actually talk about real estate. What's going on? Who's got listings, buyers? I know a few articles have come out that I see people on this call have shared on their socials. So I want to hear from you guys about some of the news articles you've seen recently. What do you think's going on?
Well, I did share that Bloomberg article yesterday. I'm trying to bring it up now, but I thought that was a perfect opportunity to reach out to my email list and do my whole take on it, because it was kind of promising, the numbers. It seems like they are calling for a productive fall, a busier fall. I know this is, and it's kind of like double downing on the thing that and I know a lot of everybody's been saying is like, now's a good time to be a buyer. Like, and then also everybody knows it's a good time to be a buyer. So is everybody going to be jumping in the market in the GTA soon? And then you don't want to be, you know, kind of missing the mark on that one. So that's something I'm actually sending out this morning to my peeps. And I don't have any buyers or listings right now, but I have 2 rental clients that I'm taking out.
Nice. And that's actually I know you didn't say this, but the way I'm looking at it is you said you don't have any buyers or listings right now, but you're still actively talking to your database. You're actively putting out information, no matter what position they may or may not be in. So kudos to you for keeping that up and sticking to the consistency. Yes, you were definitely the one I was talking about. I saw you reposted that article. And I was like, oh, great. We're going to talk about this tomorrow.
Sorry, you said you're getting at least listings, or you have 2 people who are looking for
Yeah, two people who are looking for a lease. Yeah. Mhm.
So here's a video idea for you for your social media is, do the walkthrough of these rentals and, maybe have a hook. How much would you pay monthly for this place, and see if people will engage you in that way.
Totally. Yeah, I think that and what Michelle said earlier about just like posting short clips or just posting what you want. Like the TikTok that I got the most comments on is like it was a house with a weird entryway and it was like super big, but you can't really do anything with it. And I was like, how the hell would you style this? Everyone gives their opinion. And that I didn't have to edit it. I think I overthink of like it has to be this curated thing with an idea and whatever, but like I just posted that. People love to tell you what they think. So good ideas.
Oh, people love giving their unsolicited opinion,
Yeah,
especially on social.
Yeah, they do.
I genuinely think the reason my video did well is because early on I got a hate comment, guys.
You're doing something right when you get hate comments. That's you're on the right path now.
You made it
Yeah.
big.
I got a hate comment and I would say half the comments I keep seeing were just like annihilating this guy. He commented on the video, which I don't really understand, but he said, "Woke baseball? No, thank you."
Woke. Like, what?
And so I laughed. And that, like I said, that was like early on in the video, like when I had posted the video. And the comments back to this guy range from like, leave Canada to, dude, I don't even like Justin Bieber. But this doesn't mean it's woke baseball. It's literally a sport. But it's engagement, right? Which makes me laugh. But yeah, the stuff you never think is gonna, do well, or you put like the least thought into. So funny how many times I've sat there and like worked on a video for hours, the editing and everything like that, and I post it and it does not do well at all. And then I post something like this that took me literally less than 30 seconds to record, put like words on and post, and it's been doing the best, which is so funny.
One trick that I do with social media, if I'm somewhere, recently I was at a Latin Fest in Brampton, and so I did a quick video. I edited quickly on my phone, and I tagged the Latin Fest that was hosting it, and the views skyrocketed. And I didn't do anything special. It wasn't anything crazy, and you get views. So, it's a easy trick to do that. If you're somewhere, if you're at some festival, something, tag whoever is hosting it and you'll get the views.
Yeah, good point. And something we talked about yesterday, especially when it came to the feature on YouTube that's already available on Facebook and Instagram, is the collaboration tool. So that way, when you post something, you can actually add collaborators. And for anyone that has seen their listings featured on the Realty Executives Plus Instagram or regional, you'll see that I, myself, or Jake have added you as collaborators. So what that means is when you accept that collaboration request, that piece of content also shows up to your followers and on your page and to people who may not follow you, but also find your page. So yeah, definitely the collaboration aspect, the community aspect, as you're saying, posting about, as we're talking about more than just real estate, you're in your community, you're active in your community, which is really great. Other than Elizabeth, who's got stuff going on? Buyer clients, are they hearing from their database at all? Is everyone telling you, no, I'm going to wait? What's going on? Yes, Julia.
As you know, I did an open house on the weekend.
Yes, I do know.
Thank you for trolling my signs on King West. I was trying to figure out from my handwriting which sign it was, but I had a few out. But the open house was not that busy, but I may have gotten a good lead from it, so that I've been communicating with. So good for me, not so good for the sale of the house, of the condo. It's interesting. I've got this condo is really quite nice. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, and if you run over 1,000 square feet, two bedrooms in C01 downtown, it's in the like lowest price 5, and it's been renovated. And the people that came through the townhouse, the condo, mostly said to me, we want a unit like this, but we're waiting because we think the market's going to drop back. We're waiting. We've got lots of time, and we think the market's going to pull back more. So we're in a wait and see. And so, I brought up that interest rates are going back down next week on the 29th. They may go down again. So we'll see how that goes. That might bring a few more buyers off the shelf. I do have a couple buyers that are waiting to buy as well. They're looking at February. So yeah. And I've got a listing I was supposed to lease or put on the market on Front Street, another 2-bed and den. She has decided she wants to wait, and she's going to update the bathrooms. So I have to go over this week and give her some help with that. But it's a great building. It's in the Matrix, like a young Blue Jay Way. It's front Spadina. So there's a bunch of buildings there, and they're pretty well taken care of and good size, pretty good price. Not as good as my King West one, but it does need a bit of update. So anyway, that's what people are telling me. They're waiting.
Yeah, I would say the same. Same buyer client as previously. To update everyone, she decided not to take the one at Windermere. So if anyone knows anyone, 15 Windermere, I did see an offer come in. I don't see anything about sold conditionally or anything like that, but really good opportunity there. So we're still looking, but I would say very similar discourse I'm getting is, well, this is nice, but do you think they'll take, XYZ number that's like, 50 grand lower than listing price, and she wants to wait for the market to go down more, and like, okay. So, yeah, definitely. I think interest rates, I also said to my dad, I think, unfortunately, the thing that's going to happen is she's going to see ones that we've gone to see be sold, mostly because I'm going to send them to her. And and she's going to see what they sold for. And I think that's going to give her a little bit of a reality check. But I don't think that's going to happen until we see the prices of some of the units that we've seen already be sold. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Herb, I know your team has some listings. Are you guys doing open houses? Are you guys seeing any traffic?
So the property in Palgrave, we have an open house set up for Sunday. We'll see what happens. Last time we had an open house at that location, 2 groups did show up and went through it. One was working with a realtor, one was not. So Matthew has been following up with them. The house in Cambridge, we had a showing completed last week, and then they graciously enough submitted a feedback on it and just said that for the price of the house, the kitchen felt underwhelmed. It was very underwhelming, the kitchen. So we're like, okay, well, you can always change it, but fine, fair enough. I'm taking a couple to look at some homes on Saturday in Mississauga. So they were a little apprehensive of buying, like they were a little bit slow, but then they did find a house that they really liked, and it sold within a couple of days. So I think now they're realizing, oh, wait a second, we can't drag our feet. Like if we see something we like, now's the time to get it. So this Saturday, I'm going to be taking them out to view 2 or 3 different homes, and we'll go from there.
Nice. Whereabouts in Mississauga? Like,
They don't really care
Oh, okay.
where, it's really a price point. They
Yeah.
need to be under the 900,000.
Oh.
So price is what's holding them back a little bit in terms of what they're looking for. But that one home that they really liked, which I felt was perfect for them, sold. And so I think they're realizing now, let's not drag our feet anymore. Let's put the hammer down.
yeah, I know that, so my client was originally a lease client. And when we were looking for leases, prices were coming down and I was feeling so bad because we couldn't even get it like in the door before the offers would come in and it would be leased. That was more so in, or like spring, summertime. And now that we've, moved on to buying, obviously that changes things a lot. So yeah, I think similar to your people, I think when the sales come out, that changes the mindset a lot.
It does, yeah. Because I think people, even back in 2000 when I bought my condo, people were telling me, "Oh no, you're priced out of the market, the bubble, this and that." But I still bought it, and it was the best decision ever. I don't listen to the noise. I'm just looking at value, but that's me, And that's what I try to present to people too, especially the couple that I'm taking out this Saturday, is like, let's look at the value. Don't worry about where the bottom is and all of that. Look at what you're buying and what you're getting in comparison. And so,
So can I make a suggestion?
yes,
You put everything you just said into an email and put that out to your database, because that was very well said.
I'll have to listen to the recording. And type it out.
You take notes.
Yeah. What did I say? I'll listen to the video.
Yes. Which brings me to my next point. And thank you everyone for sharing. I appreciate that. And everything that we're seeing going on, I think sounds very similar no matter where you're working, Saga, Guelph, Toronto. So my next question is, Elizabeth, I know you talked about reaching out to your database. Julia brought up the interest rate going down. How are you guys kind of putting that into your own spin and putting that out to your database? Is it just an email that's going out? Is it an email, YouTube, social media? Are you going to Chat GPT and asking, how do I put this? How do I phrase this? So what is, now that you know kind of what you want to say, what's your next step?
Yeah, my first go-to is usually email for that kind of thing, and like a short and sweet thing with my take in like friendly writing, not formal. And then try to have then that's a conversation starter when I see those people in person, or if I'm texting them, like seeing that they saw my email, you can continue the conversation that way.
Do you add any like links or resources to that email?
Usually, yes. Like if it's a late drop, I'll include some links. For this one, I'm including the article so they can read the full thing themselves. But like my kind of short synopsis, they can read if they want, and how it affects them. That's what I do.
Yeah, very good. One of the things I also think about is Treb does something every time they release a market watch, and they post a video literally reading what they've posted on their market watch PDF. It's super short video, under 5 minutes. It's just guy sitting there reading the market watch, and there's your piece of video content. So is anyone doing that in addition to sending out emails? Yeah, no, me neither, but I think this is a great idea I'm having.
Reuse that
But
content.
yeah, like you gotta reuse the content, guys. We spend so much time and energy making one piece of content. There's so many ways we can repurpose it, right? What I learned in grade 3, reduce, reuse, recycle.
I think too, a missed opportunity that I'm recognizing that I'm doing on the regular now is, I'll call agents regarding their listings, and the amount of information that they'll give me is incredible, and it really helps with the buying and selling process. for example, just on the other side of my street, there's a home that's been, they're trying to sell it for the past year, and it's been through three different agents so far. And I asked the agent, like, what's going on with that listing? Why has it been on the market for the past year? It ticks all the boxes. It's renovated, detached, 2-bedroom basement apartment, separate entrance, like all the boxes are ticked. Unfortunately, she was telling me that the client is expecting way too much of a price from the offers that they've received. They've received one offer for $1,150,000, and the client wants 1.3, which in that area, unfortunately, nobody's buying for 1.3 in Brampton. So that's the struggle she's getting. And we had a great conversation because she's giving me insight of what's going on in that area. So that way, if I ever do get a client in Brampton, I know prices, I know, generally what's going on. So, always, every time I call an agent and just like, hey, I'm just calling about your property and I just want to know, like, what's going on with that. They're happy to tell me. They're like, okay, yeah, no problem, I'll tell you. and they give me so much info.
I'm going to an event tomorrow with a bunch of realtor condo specialists I was invited to, and it's just a breakfast, and there's a speaker, and we're supposed to bring the listing we want to promote the most to our fellow condo people. So I'm bringing King Street. Hopefully that'll help
Nice.
get eyes on. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah,
it's good
and
to hear what other people are doing in the market outside your bubble, right? So
yes, absolutely. And keeping those open lines of communication. Obviously, we talk a lot about the database, but with agents too, especially in the area. I know Scott was telling the stories about when we had the listing up in Thornbury and how he was doing that, and just, calling the agents in the area when they called him, always answering, open lines of communication, and just like really collaborating in that aspect too, which I think is awesome. And then you also learn about, as Julia said, areas outside of your bubble that you work, and just, grow your market understanding. And, great opportunity to share that with your community and your database. So I see on this call here, we have about half the people are with Lofty and half the people are with Prime Agent. So as we talk about reaching out to your database and stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Prime Agent and I'm going to pull up Lofty. I'm going to show you guys kind of the best ways to do those email blasts and set up campaigns for your people. So spare me like 70 seconds and then I'll get to screen share. I know we talked a bit about it yesterday. Did anyone end up going into the queue? Julia, how did Ryan make out with the tickets? No?
I think he was like 11,000 in, so which wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
I wonder if the strategy should have been to get a later game instead of game 1 or 2. Who knows? But no tickets for us.
Same.
It's just not guaranteed, right? That's why everyone's trying. So yeah, Elizabeth.
I was gonna say my brother-in-law shared the picture. He was like 200,000th in line. He's like, so none of us are going. We're like, okay.
Yeah. Spencer was 131,000th. Yeah. Yes. Since this is being posted to YouTube, I will profusely thank again on the web my very gracious father, who is in Ireland currently. So try and catch me on the TV for game 1.
In the TD area?
Right. So we're right behind there. So what you see on TV, we're 8 rows up from there. And thank God I don't have any siblings who I would have to fight for these tickets. I've never been more thankful to be an only child in my life.
Oh my God, amazing.
But yes, I got that call yesterday. And
Awesome.
the only reason I am able to go, obviously, is because we have 3 out of the 4. So we share them with our family and friends. 3 out of the 4 season ticket holders are in Ireland. So that's the only way I got this opportunity, but pretty stoked, guys.
Amazing. You'll
Gonna
bring
be an
them.
epic Saturday.
You were there at game 7, right?
Yes.
So you're good luck. You have to go.
Oh, I'll be wearing the exact same outfit. Yeah, so I think I got pretty good girlfriend awards for that one. When I called Spencer and said, "Hey, what are you doing Friday?"
What are you doing? You want to go?
All right. So as we get back to our prime agent and everything here, I'm going to pull up what I'm talking about. Okay. So here we have prime agent. And now prime agent is accessible to everyone with Realty Executives. I know that some people have opted to upgrade prime agent to add on their campaigns. Some people have upgraded to Lofty, which is also great. And you can see we're going to talk about that in the open tab here. But first, what I want to talk about is prime agent. So when we open up prime agent, it's going to take us to our home screen. And here you have training calendar and everything like that. But under your CRM, you actually have something called campaigns. So in the campaigns, once you activate them, you have the opportunity to utilize the pre-built email campaigns. So buyer, seller, first-time home buyer, birthday, holiday, and a bunch of other ones, but the e-newsletter as well. The reason I bring this up is because when we're talking about reaching out to the database, there's opportunities for it to be a lot easier than you sitting down and thinking about content, every month or every week or however much you're doing this. So these campaigns here are pre-built. They have amazing content in them, specifically tailored to this one's first-time home buyers, this one's sellers. So it's a little bit better than the generic ones. And then we also have e-newsletters. So the e-newsletter feature, what happens there is when you activate it, you ask Prime Agent to subscribe your entire database to the e-newsletter. And then once a month, without you doing anything, the e-newsletter is blasted out to the people that you've chosen to send it to. Now, something that our agents that use the e-newsletter do, my first example that comes to mind is Vic Krikorian. He goes into the e-newsletter because you are able to edit it, but you don't have to. It does look good on its own. So the e-newsletter comes with the 3 blogs. But what Vic does is he actually takes the market update graphics that Jake curates and he adds them to his e-newsletter every month. So if you're someone that's receiving Vic's e-newsletter, you'll know what I'm talking about. He adds a huge section at the top talking about the market stats from month to month. And then he also includes those 3 blogs from the e-newsletter. So that is a way that you can reach out to your database. Obviously, that's 12 times a year, once a month. And that just adds to the ways that you're connecting, you're sharing valuable information, whether you want to add information about real estate or not. And then the pre-built campaigns, these are all within the one subscription, are really, really great opportunities if you're using Prime Agent. There's also tons of training videos on Prime Agent. Today, I'm just going to talk about the campaigns. And since we're talking about emailing your database and all that, if you do have any questions about Prime Agent or want to get this set up or need more information, definitely reach out to me. There is an opportunity within Prime Agent to build your own campaigns. So you get to choose how often people get emailed, what the content is, if there's images, stuff like that. So there is an opportunity if you already subscribe to these Prime Agent campaigns to build your own.
I just want to add too, if you use Prime Agent to send out the newsletter, it does hit people's emails. It doesn't go to spam or it doesn't go to advertising, the other tab. It goes directly into their inbox. So it's a really powerful tool.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that Realty Executives prides itself on is with the campaign system, there's less bounce back. There's trackable results, always mobile friendly. I got an email the other day and I'm squinting trying to look at the text because it definitely was not mobile friendly. I'm like, okay. So that is Prime Agent. If we go over to Lofty, there's something that's very, very similar to the campaigns, and they're called smart plans. So within your Lofty subscription, under marketing, so we'll go under marketing here, you'll see on the left under automation, you have smart plans. So if we go to smart plans, you can see my smart plans that are active here. You can also see when you log in, if you don't have any active, you won't have any smart plans here. But there's office smart plans, company smart plans, and a library of all the Lofty smart plans. The office and the company ones are more so tailored to Realty executives. So the company ones are really Realty executives based. The office ones are ones that I have chosen as the Lofty super admin person that I think would benefit the people in the office to use them. So I've added all the birthday ones. Unlike Prime Agent, the email campaigns or smart plans, as they call them in Lofty, for the holiday ones in Prime Agent, they go out for 8 years. For Lofty, it's just a one-time setup. So there's ways to set up the automation in Lofty that whenever you add a new client, they get automatically added to a Christmas email campaign or a Valentine's Day email campaign. So there are ways to do it automatically, but I did want to point that out. I know some people are used to Prime Agent where it's you set it up once and it goes for 8 years. These holiday campaigns are just one time. We also have campaigns for buyers. We have birthday campaigns, home anniversary campaigns, so all similar to what's available in Prime Agent. With a Lofty subscription, you also get a website. That's all part of the subscription with Realty Executives. So the reason I bring that up is because you can see here that some of the smart plans, email campaigns are based on activity on that website. So you can actually set up this smart plan based on the action that the buyer is back to the website 30 days after they were there previously. So if I click into this plan, I can actually see what the email campaign would entail or the smart plan. So you wait 10 minutes from when that person signs back onto the website. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Welcome back. We missed you. Still on the hunt. Any homes catch your eye? You know, all this is curated for you already. You don't have to do anything. You'll also see on the left here, they would get an auto text. Obviously, it doesn't go out if they haven't added their phone number, but Lofty does try and grab as much information from leads coming off the website as it can. It will also, when you see something that does not say auto, like call or task or something like that on Lofty, that's because this is a reminder that's going to the agent. So in this campaign, Lofty has automatically put a reminder to me. So Lofty will notify me to say, call to see if the lead is thinking about buying a home soon, stop the smart plan if you reach the lead. So some smart plans you can stop. You can ask it to automatically stop if the lead responds via email or you've talked to them on the phone. Some of them don't. A lot of agents just prefer to do it themselves to keep a mental track of what's going on with that lead. We also have opportunities for Facebook ads, email campaigns that are made with the intent that these people are coming from Facebook. So this one specifically is a renter lead ad. So if you do any rental ads on Facebook, this email campaign would work for you. You also have sellers after closing, closing anniversary, long-term drip campaigns. There's tons of opportunities. I'm going to go over to my smart plans because like I said with Prime Agent, there's also a way in Lofty to curate your own campaign. So as you can see, this one is Gen Z renter convert to buyer Canadian. Lofty did not come up with this campaign on its own, but they did come up with a renter to buyer email campaign. So what you can actually do is under the Manage tab here, not on this one I've already made. You can actually copy the smart plan. So if let's say I like the birthday, just want to check the chat here. It's entirely overwhelming. Don't worry, I'm almost done. There is a way to copy this campaign to make it your own. So I have created this campaign based on whether they're renting or saving. And genuinely, I had to sit with myself and say, okay, if I don't know their situation, if they've already purchased a house, or they're living with somebody, they're not renting or saving, whatever, am I still okay with them receiving this email? Is it specific enough that they'll get good information, but generic enough that I don't have to know their exact situation? I don't have to, know specifically that they're saving for 12 months down the road. So as we said previously, my first stop, ChatGPT. After I found the email I wanted to copy, the email campaign or the smart plan campaign, I copied the smart plan, created it in Lofty, and then I went over to ChatGPT and said, this is the idea for the campaign. Write me, I think there's, let's say 12 emails based on the idea that they're going to people who are renting or saving money, and they're going to be first-time home buyers down the line. So it came up with this campaign, and I was able to curate this email campaign in one day, activate it for my group of people that, I went into my database. I said, okay, I'm going to pick this group of people under the age of, like 35. And if I know that they haven't purchased a house already, I'm adding them to this email campaign. That being said, the reason I like Lofty better than I like Prime Agent's email campaigns is because it's super easy to go in and edit the ones in Lofty. The pre-built campaigns in Prime Agent, you can't edit. You can only edit the ones that you curate on your own. In Lofty, you can edit as many smart plans as you want to make it your own. So when we're talking about reaching out to your database, there are so many ways that you can do it and make it easier for you. I do know that it's a lot of information. So if you would like more of a one-on-one with smart plans, I do want to point out that there is a help center here if you have Lofty. This question mark in the corner here, and you can look up or ask Lofty any question. There's training videos, there's a user community that has a Facebook group for people asking questions, stuff like that. And obviously you can always call me if you want a one-on-one. You want to do something, you don't even know if Lofty covers that, and we can chat and talk about that. So those are, I would say, the two options that I would suggest for email campaigns. Obviously, there's a ton of ways to do it, ton of different CRMs out there, based on who you have in your database. Do they use email a lot? Are they somebody that would check their emails or just trash them? And then I know a couple of agents I talked to, Jade being one of them. He said he doesn't have a lot of people's emails, but he has a lot of people on Instagram. So him and I sat down and talked about how can we curate not so much an email campaign, but a consistent timeline of reaching out to people via DM to say, hey, this just happened in real estate, this interest rate or this missed opportunity for my client. I just want to reach out and say and ask if you're interested. there are some great opportunities out there. I'd love to grab your email to send you the information. So putting yourself in situations where you're able to grab contact information. And I know for me personally, I've had better connections on Instagram because I'm so active. I've heard like from people I went to elementary school with, whether it's just through like a like or a comment or whatever. But I'm building up to saying, hey, it's been great chatting with you. Part of like what I do in real estate is send out, XYZ emails. If you're interested, I'd love to add you to that. It just goes out, once a month and talks about what's going on in the market specifically for first-time home buyers. Because you never know who's going to look at it. I think I said this to Herb, the first email that went out in my Lofty campaign, Herb's been using Lofty for longer than I have. And I said, how do I know if they've unsubscribed? And he walked me through it. I said, okay. I said, well, this is good because all the people I thought would unsubscribe have not. Some of the people that I thought you would open my emails and you would never unsubscribe. Shout out to my family that's all in real estate. They all unsubscribed. I was like, okay, but you never know, right? You never know who's gonna look or ask questions or anything like that. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys the opportunities that are out there other than just talking about reaching out to your database. The tools are there. And I'm obviously here, Herb's here if you ever have questions about Lofty or Prime Agent or anything like that. Did anyone, I know we have about 10 minutes left. Did anyone want to share or ask any questions about connecting, social media, the real estate market, or literally anything else? Yes.
You said Jake does some graphics. How is that shared with us and I missed a link or do we just take it from?
So they're usually posted monthly on the Realty Executives Plus Realtors Facebook page. So that private group that we have, because I know Jake has turned the content into a reel, which is great. But I have a lot of agents still asking me for the graphics. So you should be able to find them all in the Realty Executives Plus Realtors Facebook group. Good question. Good question. Anyone else? All right. Well, that is it from me. I only have one more meeting this week, guys, and then I'll be saving my voice to scream and shout and cheer. Very excited. But yeah, that is all from you guys. That's all from me. As always, you can catch this recording on our Realty Executives Plus YouTube page. And the Realty Executives Regional YouTube page is where you'll find these social media power hour recordings. You'll see that there's two different playlists. One is 2023, one is 2025. So you want to make sure you're looking at the 2025 one. But an email is going to be going out today with the resources we talked about yesterday, the recording. And I will see you guys next week. If I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. Scott is back next Wednesday for our meeting. So we'll hear all about his trip and if my mom tried a Guinness, which I think I'm betting $5 she did not.
Because it says.
But they do look like they're having a great time. My Aunt Kathy sent me a bunch of pictures yesterday. Well, our family group chat, a bunch of pictures yesterday. And for those of you who don't know, my cousin Kirsten turned 40, and that's the reason that they're all going. I think Scott had shared that, but her goal was they were going to do a pub crawl. And based on the pictures yesterday, they did indeed do a pub crawl. So I'm very excited to hear about that. I've never been to Ireland, so I'm excited to see pictures and stuff. So that will, I'm sure, I'll be shared next Wednesday when Scott is here. In between that, definitely try and join the Tuesday 10 a.m. sessions. For the next 5 weeks. We only have 5 more left. One's done already. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Did Steve go?
No.
Oh, okay, because I might have clients for him.
Okay, yeah, no, he did not go. There's about, I would say probably more than a handful of us Gilmores that are still kicking around Mississauga. But yeah, it was mostly my Aunt Kathy and that family. But yes, not to worry, he's here.
Okay, I'll reach out to him today.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.